Today I will be demonstrating how to make gluten-free falafels in the air fryer. Now what you see here is the ingredients. It will be listed in the description below, but we have black pepper, ground cumin, ground coriander, minced garlic, sea salt, a yellow onion, or if you have a white onion that'll work as well, and 1 can of garbanzo beans. We have some gluten-free flour, which is from King Arthur Baking Company, but really any flour will do. It's only working to kind of bind everything together. So if you're not gluten-free, you don't have to use gluten-free flour. We have some fresh cilantro. We have some breadcrumbs here, gluten-free as well, and sliced almonds. Now these last two are optional and just for an extra bit of crunch, but I like a little bit of crunch in mine, so I include them. So the first thing you're going to want to do is drain and rinse your chickpeas. Next, you're going to want to lay them out and dry them as best you can using some paper towels. You might want to let them sit a moment just to get a little bit of moisture out of there. While those are drying, I'm going to take my onion and cut it into fourths. Off screen, I just removed the ends of the onion and removed the outer layers, but just cutting it into fourths so that it'll fit into the air fryer. Now I have a 2/3 cup here, and I have a handful of cilantro, and I'm just going to shove this kind of into here. You can see more or less it's about 2/3 a cup. It's really kind of an eyeball here. More or less 2/3 a cup is fine. The next step is to get your food processor ready. Make sure it's set to chop, and then we're going to start adding our ingredients. Here we've got our chickpeas. Up next, we'll add our chopped onions. And our cilantro. Just kind of shove it on in there. And we'll add in 2 teaspoons of our minced garlic. Now we're going to add what I would call a handful, just a light handful of almonds. It's about 2 tablespoons worth. Just toss them on in there for a little bit of crunch. Add more if you want some more crunch, or a little bit less if you don't like it as crunchy. Now I've got a 1.5 teaspoons of cumin. Alright, now we're going to do about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I don't like my stuff very salty, so I've got about 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Also 1/8 teaspoon of coriander. Now we are going to blend it until it is at a smooth consistency. Alright, so what you want to look for in this is that everything is blended. You don't see any big chunks of anything. I've got a little spatula here to kind of scoop around and play around with, and you might need to do this as you're going through it and blending it, but you can see here it's really a nice consistency. Once I've got it blended, I'm going to go ahead and add the 1/4 cup of flour. Got that added in, and I'm going to blend it one more time. And you should see once you've blended that up, it's significantly drier and it doesn't flop off as much. It takes a bit more oomph to flop it, so that's a good sign, and that's how you know you are ready to proceed to the next step. Alright, so the next step is to take a cookie scoop or a spoon. I prefer cookie scoop because I think it's easier. You're going to want to take a nice scoop like this and just plop them on down in your air fryer. I like the cookie scoop because it makes it nice and round, and it's pretty uniform size. Once you got them loaded up, this is where I like to take some breadcrumbs and just sprinkle them right on top. Just a nice drizzling for some crunch. That is the good stuff. Now we are ready for the air fryer. And in they go. So we're at the halfway mark. I'm going to just spray it with a little bit of olive oil cooking spray to let it cook a little better. Again, this is optional. It just, to me, helps it crisp up better. Just a personal preference. Now you can see they're nice cooked golden brown. This is the exact consistency that you want. Nice and cooked, just like that. Now once you're done, it should look a little something like this. You have a nice golden falafel, and I've served it on a bed of white basmati rice with a very nice tzatziki sauce. Another serving suggestion is putting some feta on it as well, with sun-dried tomatoes, and maybe even wrapping it inside of a pita or some naan. So I hope you enjoy this. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think.